This is the first fire in the Wolf Ridge fire pit. This is smokeless once it gets hot. All the rings around it, all the air vents below all work together to create a nice, clean, intense burn. So we're getting this thing up to temperature. Now, we've had a lot of rain. Some of my wood might be a little bit on the wetter side right now, but the smoke is starting to dissipate. We've loaded this thing up, and I'm really excited to see how this goes once we get it really ripping. Look at that. You can see the reburning action in there. And during the daytime, at nighttime, you'll get to see it even more. Once the fire ring came up to temperature, it is pretty well smokeless. Welcome to the Okie Woodsman channel. Last time we had a great time with friends and family. My sister got married this weekend, and so there was a bunch of people in town, and we finally got out of the burn ban. We burned in this Wolf Ridge fire pit for 10 hours straight. That's what we've got left over so far. We've got some heat still in there. Let me tell you, it's absolutely wonderful. I love the discoloration that the stainless has. It's like a goldish purple color. Check that out. I think that's pretty neat. Really, the whole experience was pretty darn fantastic. I'd say in 10 hours of burning, we had somewhere between 8 and 9 hours of pretty well, relatively smoke-free burning. As long as you keep it good and hot, it does incredible. You could see the reburn happening around that upper rim. And of course, as you're starting it, or if you put super wet wood in there and it's not real hot yet, it does smoke a little. Today I'm getting my tractor modified. More on that in just a little bit. I sure hope this works. I parked the tractor here so that way some friends and family could go ahead and play with the backhoe off the edge here. They could kind of scratch at the dirt a little bit, see how it was. That'll stop you. By now you may have figured out that I am taking this bucket to go get something done that I have no business doing myself. And this is going to make my tractor yet again even more useful than it was before. There you go. I've brought my bucket over here to Mike at the Rusty Garage and Homestead. If you've been watching my channel, you'll know that I have some welding aspirations, but I'm not good enough for what's going to be occurring today. He's going to go ahead and talk to us about proper preparation and techniques for making good, strong welds on equipment. Yeah.
I made that mistake before and caught my shoe on fire.
Oh, really? My welding equipment doesn't look like this.
Yeah. Yours isn't as junked up.
And nor do I have a sweet hat like that. I'm gonna feel the pain, I think, coming up.
Oh, more than once when we was building the corral, when you're doing pipe, you swap quite a bit. Depends on what angle you're welding from and everything. And more than once I didn't move my hat and I had hot fireballs of molten metal go right down my ear. So try to be a little more aware of it. Joe has already marked where his loader frame was on his tractor. And this is the outside to the outside. So we've already found what center is on this. We found what center is on the bucket. We'll get through the paint, and then hopefully the camera will pick it up, but I'll try to show you the difference between mill scale and the parent metal. To have good welds, you want to make sure you're into the parent metal and not mill scale. That mill scale will really mess up your welds, so try to show you that difference here in just a second.
He's going to use a combination of wire wheel and flap disc. If you want to know more about this process, I will link to a video on his channel where he may have shared something that we didn't share here.
Roll America.
Somebody's having fun in Oklahoma. I'm so glad he's doing this. I was gonna give it a shot, but these hooks are gonna be very critical. I'm gonna have a lot of weight hanging off of them, and this is not something that you wanna play with. I could have a lot of money. It could be a safety issue at stake if I didn't have these welded properly. That's awesome. Very good, very good. That looks great. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Well, that was fast. Mike has got a very cool setup here. I've been on him to make videos on the machines he's made. I'm not going to say much about these things, but he's made all of this stuff right here. And I'm telling you, this man has more content than I think he even realizes, because I don't even know about a pancake face shield for welding and why you'd want one. So make sure you go check out Mike's channel. He made this thing. Listen, ingenious too. It's super cool. It's just simple. To buy something like this is very expensive.
They are. That was the whole reason for.
Is that how you track the belt?
Yep.
Okay. Is that does that have like a slight conical shape to it? Like,
This belt does.
okay, okay, right on. That makes sense. Okay. Oh, right on. It just kicks like that. That is so cool, man.
Goes right through there.
Oh man, you do need a sawmill.
No, I want to saw.
You need a sawmill, man.
Oh, the amount of things I could do.
Are you interested in buying a Frontier?
I've already got a.
Oh, that's so cool. So what he's going to be doing now is he's going to be removing the mill scale off of the hooks.
Yep.
So that way he can get them welded onto the bucket.
Yep. You guys will be able to see, because this is covered in mill scale. Once I get through all the mill scale, you'll see the parent metal down below it.
I've got to start using that term parent metal. It's pretty cool. This man has much more to share than you've seen. So we're going with 3/8 hooks here. I think that's going to be a great size for this machine.
Yep. You want to look at the grade of the steel. These are G7 or G70, so I think Joe's bucket will rip apart before he tears these hooks up, because they are rated pretty high.
Now, is this something you purchased on like Amazon or something? Okay, okay.
These are all Amazon purchases.
Gotcha. All right, let's see how you do this here. So question, if after you grind something like that, is it best not to touch it with your fingers after you weld it, or is it not that critical on something like this with stick welding?
On something like this with stick welding, I don't worry about it too much. If it was aluminum and I was TIG welding, I would want to make sure all that stuff was clean or stainless or something like that. But nice and shiny, so there's no mill scale on these.
That's awesome. That's so cool. He's doing in a short amount of time, which would take me a day, and then I'd probably have to redo it because something failed, and then it cost me time and money and possibly safety hazards, right? So, man, this is super cool. I really like the design that he did on his, and so we're duplicating it because it's so multifunctional. There's one in the middle and one on each of the loader arms there. It just gives a ton of flexibility to be able to utilize different attachment points for different types of loads.
Two, to make sure we are on where we want to be. 14.5.
Yeah, you'll start on that side there. Cool.
since we are down to parent metal on both of these, I'm just going to weld it with 7018 1/8 inch rod. If you're dealing with some mill scale or some rustier metal, stuff you may or may not should be welding on, I would use a 6010 or something really aggressive that's going to cut through that rust and everything, and then I'd cap it with like a 7018 or 9018 or something like that. But for now, 7018 is going to be more than enough for this. Your 7018 is a low hydrogen rod. A lot of places, like where I work, if this rod is sitting out like this, or has been, you know, in like my welding box,
yeah,
you can't use this.
Gotcha.
This has to be put in an oven, rod oven, and it has to be kept at a fairly warm temperature.
Gotcha.
Or you can't use it.
For quality, that like pipeline type stuff,
Yep.
they need it perfect, right?
Boiler work, pipeline work, all that stuff.
Okay.
There's a code that they have to weld to, and
Wow.
their operating procedures, but
I had
all
no
of
clue.
their low hydrogen rods will have to be in the oven.
Wow.
But farm welding, you just kind of use what you got.
He's tacking opposing corners.
So we've got the first hook tacked in. You don't necessarily have to have metal working tools to be able to do this kind of thing. I'm gonna use a framing square just to make sure we're still square before I go ahead and do any more tacks or weld it out.
I'd say that looks good. You're good.
I'll turn the machine down a little bit, and I'll try to kind of put a cap over and fill some of that in.
Okay. Beautiful, beautiful. So Mike is tacking on one side alone because what he's doing is because that is not quite a 90, he's got to tap it over. And he thought that maybe once it cools, it might pull it back the other way.
Actually, it doesn't look that far off.
Really?
When it cooled, it may have pulled it up against that magnet. This isn't a 90 degree. This is actually a magnetic ground clamp is what this is. I couldn't find my 90s, surprise. So this was actually holding it at 105 degrees, which was a little off. That's why I wanted to weld on that side alone. When this metal starts cooling, it's gonna pull itself towards that direction. And I don't know, Joe's looked at it and we put the square up to it. It pulled it pretty much right back at 90 degrees. So we're not gonna have to tap on this or anything. But I've got two pretty good tacks on this side. So now I'm gonna come in and put a couple tacks over here. We'll wire wheel it and then start running some weld bead on it.
This is really neat. I'm watching through the welding mask here. I've watched a lot of videos. I've watched my dad weld when I was a younger boy. I've welded with oxyacetylene. Now that I've got a welder and a plasma cutter at home that I have yet to actually weld with, I am feeling super excited about getting that going.
Hot slag's about one of the worst things you can do to your eyeball.
I can imagine. He already went through one rod. Now he's changed rods. He went ahead and broke the slag off of where he quit. And he was talking about undercutting the metal and so forth. I'm just glad that these hooks are not welded by me. There is one guy that periodically watches the channel, Chainsaw Canuck out of Canada. He's a welder by trade. Yeah, and he's been welding with some of them Amazon welders at home.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, he's got, I mean, he TIG welds pretty much all day, I think.
Yeah.
So he's gonna save a partially used rod to just tack on the next one, and he's going fresh so that way he can hopefully complete an entire pass on here.
This is a ground hook I made a long time ago. It's just a piece of plate cut out into kind of a hook shape. I made this to hook on pipe fence while I was welding on the corral and things like that. But even though I'm not welding on the corral, I still use this regularly. This ground clamp's only going to open so much, which I could hook it onto one of these grab hooks, but I mean it's just as easy to do that, and you've got your ground.
Gotcha.
It works well.
That's cool. So Mike is going to go ahead and tack this on one side again, and it seemed like it worked out pretty well considering his little magnetic thing right there is not quite square. Mike, when you watch this, I just want to let you know I'm extremely thankful for you doing this. Seriously, this is a huge help.
Letting these go just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little.
Might have been too much. Or
It looks pretty good to me from here. Know what the worst weld is? Is one that fails.
yeah. What? You ain't used these ones yet. That is something you should do when you get these home and you're ready to use them. Test them on something non-critical.
Okay.
Because, I mean, I'm pretty confident they're not going to break, but there's always a possibility.
Sure.
So just make sure that they are structurally sound and can do what you need them to do before you pick up something very valuable and carry it somewhere and it rips off and drops.
Sure.
If a person was doing this all the time and was in a shop, they would probably try to burn a bead just down in that bevel first and then come over with a cap.
Okay.
Again, I'm not a welder. This is just something out of necessity. I enjoy welding, but this is just something we do around the farm. You know, heavy equipment, stuff breaks on it pretty regularly. You got to weld it. And it's just part of the rural life.
Yeah.
Of kind of being more self-sufficient than.
I think what Mike's just trying to say is, you know, on a farm, you just got to be able to get stuff done. And though it may not be the prettiest solution, it's going to be far better than a novice and functional, purely functional. And that's what matters. It matters that these hooks stay on there, and they're going to be better than when I did them. That's for sure.
You pick up on things pretty quick, so here in a few months, your law will be just...
We'll see. So Mike is being critical of his work. He's noticed that this side here undercutted real badly, and I think what he's thinking is that the workpiece heated up so much that he went ahead and came to that side, and basically the metal was so hot that it actually didn't need as much energy. Now what he's doing here is he's letting these pieces cool down. And then I believe he's going to do I think it's called a cap pass or something. He's going to go ahead and finish up welding on this side now that it's cooled down. So Mike is going to go ahead and start closest to the camera here because it's the coolest. And he's going to go ahead and try to put a cap pass on there.
This is where I started. I started welding right back here. Mm-hmm. And I was coming up into here just like so. And that was covering just fine. But the more I went, the hotter this piece got, and the more it started cutting into it.
Now, can you reduce that undercut by moving a little quicker, or if you move a little quicker, is there not enough rod going into there?
You probably could if you're good. I like to try to go nice and slow.
Keep an even speed?
Yes.
Okay. It's so funny, Mike's being all real critical of his work and all that. And, you know, it has a lot to do with the fact that this goes online. You know, Mike is not a welder by trade. I truly don't think that there's going to be an issue with the structural integrity of the welds. Share below.
Bad. What we got? We got one more.
Is it just this side right here?
Just that side, which honestly ain't bad, but
Just to keep it consistent.
I really think you should weld that one.
You think I should weld that one?
It's structurally, it's fine. You're
think?
not gonna, all that's gonna be is a little practice for you.
I'll do it. I'll try. So Mike basically just told me that I have to pay him like $1,000 unless I go ahead and weld this last one. No, he said this structurally good. He said give it a shot. So I figure I'll give it a shot. I'm gonna put my own mark on my own tractor. It probably, I think I know what he's really doing here. He's just making sure that everybody gets attention on mine rather than his. All right, here.
I don't know. This is going to be a 3x3 warranty.
Okay.
Either 3 minutes or 3 miles, whatever you make it first. Warranty's up.
All right. All right. So this is my first striking an arc with a stick welder before. So all right, here.
It won't be bad. Just when you're doing it, almost just like you're lighting a match with it.
Okay.
And as soon as you get that arc, just kind of pull it back in. Don't stick the rod into it. If you stick it, it's going to quit.
Okay.
It's going to stick.
Okay.
So strike it like a match, pull it out just a little bit, about as much as I'm holding this, and then just kind of through here. I would just come up here,
Okay.
down to about midways of this weld,
Okay.
right in here, and just nice and easy.
All right. It's okay to pull back towards me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right.
Whoop.
Can't see nothing.
So what you did, you striked
pulled
it.
off.
You striked it great. No, you held it there, and you didn't.
I didn't feed it.
Yeah, you
I was
gotta
trying to
feed
get it to where I could see it,
So it basically just burned up until it
and then
lost
dripped
arc.
off.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's see if I can do it
So
again.
you do have slag on the end of that. It's going to be a little harder
It'd
to
be harder
start
to
now.
start. Okay. My big thing is not being able to see it until I do it. You know.
Do you want to wear this pancake?
Yeah. Let's do that. Does this lighten up a little bit?
It does. I mean, you can see right through it. But
Oh, there we go.
as soon as you strike the arc, it's gonna disappear.
Okay. All right. Very good.
You get it. Stick welding's kind of hard for some people.
Yeah.
Go ahead and just pop the stinger off real quick.
Okay. And then pull it.
Yep, just back and forth.
All right.
No,
You gotta cut that off.
Yeah, just use a new one.
You don't have a thing to cut it?
No, well, I mean, I do, but. All right, here, we got plenty of rods. We'll just start over.
All right.
Okay.
I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change my position. I think I can do that better now. Does this need to get clean so it'll start easier?
No, I mean, this is all wired. It's,
Okay.
I mean, you can start it right back here if you want to and bring it back up.
I'm gonna give it a shot.
It's like you're hitting a match.
Oh my gosh, I just gotta get it moving. That's what I gotta do. Sure you don't want pliers to cut that off? Or it's good, isn't it?
Yeah, that one's probably okay.
Right.
If you leave it hooked up to the stinger long, that rod starts getting really, really hot, and that flux will pop off quite a ways back.
Oh, okay.
So that's going to start really easy because you got a lot of exposed tungsten.
Okay.
So you're just going to have to watch it because those will stick pretty hard.
Okay. I'll try to get it moving now. Oh man. I'm bad at this, Mike.
No, just practice. We'll start somewhere with it. Stick welding's not the easiest, but it's the most versatile. Look closer, a little closer.
Oh, okay, crap. Now I stuck it. That's stuck hard, I think.
Yeah, pop it off. As soon as that sticks, you hear that welder's loaded up. So it's basically a short between there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hot.
Now use this glove. It's a lot thicker glove.
Okay. To grab it?
These tick gloves are really thin.
Yeah, they
I
will.
like them just so I can feel it. It'll come off.
Pretty ugly, man.
It was it actually wasn't looking bad.
No, it wasn't. I just didn't feed it.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things going on. You strike it, and you're wanting to hold this fairly steady, but you're wanting to move it where you need it to be the whole time, and you're also feeding your hand in the whole time while you're doing it.
Should I try that one again?
Yeah, no, try a new one.
You sure?
Oh yeah.
This one? All right, let's see if I can do better this time.
I believe in you.
Oh no.
Oh, you stuck it right on that tungsten. Oh yeah, it'll be fine. If you stick it and you can get that stinger off pretty quick, you can normally save your rod.
Okay. I'm gonna start below that.
Okay.
Is that a good idea?
Yeah.
This. I want to come to that side.
Okay.
I'm going to see if it matters. It probably doesn't matter at all. Probably not the best thing. I'm going to try to come back here. Oh my gosh, okay.
Not bad, not bad.
I was so nervous. Oh my gosh.
You'll see what I'm saying. Whenever we wire this off,
Okay.
you'll see why I mean that.
Okay. Oh yeah, I bet. I could tell I was kind of moving quick. So we're gonna do a big reveal here. He's gonna do all his, and then we're gonna show what mine looks like. It's probably not gonna be very good. There was more of a learning curve to that, getting that arc started than I thought. All right, here's the big reveal. Hold on here. Let me take these gloves off. You know, it's not so bad. You got to fix it, right?
No.
No, but it's not real good though either. So you're saying this filled in better than you thought?
Yeah, that undercut's pretty much gone from
Okay.
there. That looks okay. That's okay.
Okay. Oh gosh, mine looks like bird poop.
That one.
All right, let's see what we got here. I'm gonna zoom way in here. All right. Yep, that looks like bird poo-poo.
So it's a start.
Yeah.
So when you did get it going
Oh, I
over
was
in
doing
here,
okay on the front, huh?
yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, better.
It was you were jumping around a lot.
Okay.
I was behind you, so I don't know how far away you were.
Uh-huh.
It really don't look like there's any
Penetration.
stuff here.
Let me see.
This is all cold.
Yeah.
So when you start your arc, a lot of times I'll hold it kind of there in that one spot for just a second
Okay.
to try to start establishing it, burning in.
Okay.
And then once I see my puddle, I'll just start, easily bringing it back and forth
Okay.
the whole way. But
Yeah, I could tell this is sitting on top of it because I started right back here. You can see that little tiny bit right there. And then what happened is I had that rod sticking out right here and I was trying to like weld around it. Oh gosh. Well, I left my mark on my tractor.
I like it. Well, the good thing about it, you're just going to continue. You keep doing it, you're just going to continue to get better. So you can go by this every once in a while, and that'll just be a reminder.
Yeah.
You know, all of us start somewhere. That probably looks a whole lot better than the ones I was doing whenever I was, 13, trying to tear stuff up around here.
Well, I appreciate you letting me do that. Actually, I think it's cool.
I was glad to see. I guess I was glad to see you do it because I know you're going to start doing some of this stuff a lot more. So I wanted to see you do it just so if I seen anything that I thought you could possibly improve on or focus on, now would be the time to do it.
Yeah.
It's harder when you call me on the phone and say, hey, it's doing this, and I can't really see what you're talking about.
Yep.
I'm happy with it. We do need to put some paint on these. I'll see if I got some black paint.
Okay.
Filled in that undercut.
Well, all you have to do is look at that and then look at that. My dad told me I shouldn't practice on my tractor. He told me I shouldn't. But this is structurally sound, Dad. This is it was just a learning experience. And you know what? It sparkles so much, it almost looks like a diamond.
It does. Diamond in the rough, for sure.
Diamond in the rough. Oh, good deal.
Thought about it.
I like it. This was a great learning experience being out here with Mike. He went ahead and graciously told me he had some hooks, told me to bring my bucket over, and then as you can tell, he can weld far better than I can. And I truly was contemplating trying this, but the reality is I need hooks before I knew how to weld. And so I need to basically spend a bunch of time running beads. I'll probably start off with some MIG, gasless MIG welding first, and then I'll probably get into using some stick welding too. I thank you, Mike, so much for having me over and doing this for me and teaching me. It's fun to get together with him. And it's always super informative. If you have not checked out his channel, make sure you do so. He does a little bit of everything he has cattle, and he now has even some pigs. He's got multiple tractors, side-by-sides, hunting stuff that's coming out. Dozer. And yep, dozer, all of that. He's got ponds in a really cool property here in Oklahoma, which I don't understand. It's got sand and I do not. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in this, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to my channel, thumbs up the video, let us know you're here in the comments, and also drop by Mike's channel. I'll put some links to his stuff as well, and he has another video where he welded some hooks on his tractor, and he calls his TYM tractor tiny. It may be worth going and checking out his content where he welded hooks on his TYM tractor, because he may have some other tips and tricks in there as well. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. All right, good deal.